Everyone, this is Mr. Brass. I thought I would give my take on what's been going on in terms of the holy, like the politicians being excommunicated for not, what's the word, for being pro-abortion. That's for them being pro-abortion and supporting it. Um, I like to point out to people that it's not a punitive punishment, or at least it shouldn't be seen as it. It's actually a medicinal punishment. Many Catholics will agree with me on that. The whole purpose has been historically is to bring people back to the faith. They're saying, look, we're not going to give you we see you're in a bad state. We want you to stay home. And when you're ready to come back here, after you've cleansed yourself of these sins, you can come back to us. It's not political. I mean, for one, I like to point out this. The Catholic Church is a private entity. They can deny benefits and kick out anyone that they want to. That's just their whole thing as a private entity. It's not a sort of democracy where people have to vote on it. So, and I like to point out that it's not like the abortion thing is a new rule for the Catholic Church. It's a rule that's been around for thousands of years. Nancy Pelosi knew about it before she got into it. Before she got into Catholicism. And she's known about it ever since she's been in Catholicism. And for her to be surprised that this happened, or be making a big stink of it, like her and Joe Biden have been doing, it goes to show that they don't know, like, what the church is. I mean, there's really nothing you can do to a political figure without it being interpreted as political, but it isn't. It's a moral/doctrinal issue. I like to compare it to like this. Let's say you're a member of a pacifist religion. I don't know which one you would say. Or let's just say it's a new sort of pacifist religion. They have one rule. You never get into a fight, no matter what. And especially you don't unjustly hit people. If you were part of that, say, religion, you freely chose it, no one forced you to be there, and you chose it. And let's say, you got angry one night and you beat the shit out of a guy in the just some random guy in the parking lot. The people in your religious group found out about it, and they excommunicate you. They don't allow you the benefits of the group that you once had because you broke a central rule for them. And to see how idiotic it would be for people to say, oh, well, you're making it political. Hitting someone and being arrested and commenting on abuse laws is political. Well, it's a moral thing. You don't, like, if it's especially it's saying you don't unjustly hit someone, it's perfectly fine for that group. Now, you could argue with the group and say, hey, maybe you should be less restrictive, and hey, maybe you should take into consideration context of what this man was going through. But you can't sit and say that they didn't explain the rules carefully, and this person did not willingly go against those rules and not show restraint. So, I find it to be like that, and I also just find it idiotic where people say, I say these are the people that will say tax the churches. Now, I've explained in multiple videos why that's a stupid idea. And their position is basically tax the churches, and we'll come up with the reason later on for why we're doing it. They have no reason in their, outside of bigotry against the church in order to want them to pay taxes. Literally, there is no reason that they give. It's basically, look, we came to our conclusion that the churches should be taxed. Now after we do it, let's just then find a reason why to. And it's just simply because they hate the churches. And, that's basically it. Well, and then here's the thing. I wouldn't be so much against the churches being taxed if we applied it across the board to every nonprofit organization. Meaning that we just got rid of the whole nonprofit status altogether. That means Planned Parenthood doesn't get it. No organization is allowed to claim nonprofit. All organizations become profit organizations up front and all have to pay taxes. If they were to do that, then I would be much more for it. But just to specifically single out the church for not good reason just shows bigotry, in my opinion. Well, that is all for today. This is Mr. Brass saying goodbye and get wise.